welcome back to JW's Backyard. Now what I've got here is a Manco Thunderbird I bought at a flea market a couple years ago. It was just a bare frame, but I got it together. I've had it together for a while, but the audience for long form videos as far as simple builds go on YouTube is pretty much non-existent now for some reason. So I've just been enjoying it myself, but I finally got the video edited of what it took to get this thing together. And make sure you subscribe and leave a comment if you have anything to say about this. It helps with the algorithm. It's got a Tecumseh PowerSport 6 horsepower because it'll get you going faster than Dolly Parton in a tube top. No, I'm just picking, that's gross. And it's a real American power. None of that Chinese junk. No, I'm just picking, this is a good engine. But we've got just a pod filter, a custom exhaust, some tassels, because you got to have those, and a custom number plate. But here's what it took to put this thing together. So I picked up this mini bike at my local flea market. It's a Manco Thunderbird, and you know, it looks like it's in pretty good shape, so I probably paid a little more for it than I should have, since it's missing so much stuff. You know, it came without an engine, it needs throttle cable, the sprocket's missing, bearings are gone out of the rear wheel, but looks like some decent tires. You know, the frame looks like the paint's good on it, looks like it's been kept indoors, it's got a good seat. So we're gonna start trying to get this thing put back together. I pulled out this engine from under the house. It's a Tecumseh PowerSport. It's a 6 horsepower. I'm going to take the gas tank off of this. It does fit on the bike with the gas tank on, but there's already a tank on the bike and it might look a little cleaner. Oh, and a little tip, if you ever need to buy bolts, especially grade 8 bolts or something like that, Tractor Supply is the place to go. You can buy them in bulk by pound, and like this bag probably cost me $5. If you bought the same amount of bolts at Lowe's, you're probably going to spend over $30. So it's a nice little trick, and I've just got bags of bolts in the house, so I don't have to run to the store every time I need something. And I thought I needed brakes for this thing too. It's like, what does this random pedal here do? And realized it's already got brakes. It's just one of the old school tire scrubbers. And I got a new clutch cover and chain cover. I put one of these on my brother's mini bike and I really liked it. I'm just gonna make sure it fits this engine. It says it might, and it does have a couple different bolt patterns, but I'm just gonna check it. I ordered some clear powder coat because my friend is able to powder coat now, and I might take it over there and see if I can just clear this and keep it this bare metal finish. Powder coated my brother's black because we didn't have any clear at the time, but I really like this kind of burnt metal finish it has from the cutting, and I'm gonna see if I can keep it this way. So one of the things I was missing was the sprocket for the rear wheel. I've had this sprocket sitting around. It came with one of the other go-karts I bought probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I just never used it. But the bolt pattern is turned out to be the same. I'm not sure how the size is going to work out. We'll just have to see as far as the gearing goes. But the only problem is the center bore here is a little too small, so I'm gonna try to make that hole a little bigger and get the sprocket mounted to this wheel. And I bought a max torque clutch for this thing. I've always had pretty good luck with these. They're about 40 bucks a piece, so not too expensive, but they're pretty good quality. Never had much luck with the $20 eBay clutches. They just go out within a week or two, but at least the max torque clutches that I've had, this is the, SS, they have worked out pretty good. And I don't know if you saw it before, but the throttle cable here didn't have a cover over it. It was just a bare cable. It had an old bike cable that took the cable out and just used the sheath here and cut the sheath down to size just to cover this cable. So we'll get that hooked up. So as you saw, we got the Thunderbird here going. A couple of issues I noticed right off the bat. The seat was real wobbly and it was shifting side to side. So when you turn, it actually turned you the opposite direction of that you were turning, and it was pretty disorienting. But I figured out that there was a loose bolt. So got that tightened up and the seat's pretty sturdy now. One other big issue with this thing is the governor's still in the engine here, and it's probably going 15 miles an hour before it starts just hitting the rev limiter. It's just not very fun. All right, and here is our governor right here. Now that we've got the side cover off, all we have to do is take this gear off, and that's it. Put a new seal on the cover and put it back on. One thing to watch out for, there is a washer that goes on the slot for the cam here. As you can see, you couldn't really see it, so just be mindful that that's there. I've seen a couple people taking these off in different ways, and the person I saw get it off. The easiest, seemed the easiest was using the claw from a hammer, but I'm gonna try something that I do with the Predators when the retaining clip is a little stubborn, because there is a lip here on this shaft that's holding this in, and I've pried on it a little bit and it's not coming off very easy, so I'm just going to try to cut the gear in half with a screwdriver and a hammer. Main thing you want to make sure is that you don't mar up any of the surfaces, so you get a good seal when you put the cover back on. Now, that's not the most delicate process or way to get it off, but it got it off. Just be careful you don't punch a hole through your side cover, but that's all it takes. And one thing you do have to do is add a spring to the governor arm here. Just attach it somewhere over here. It'll allow the engine to return to idle, otherwise it'll stick wide open. And we're going to try to make an exhaust here for it. What I'm thinking is I want to have one of these on each side, kind of coming out like this. And I think that'll be kind of interesting. So we'll get to work.